Welcome to Cracklex, and today I'm going to take you through every single Marvel Cinematic Universe movie and TV series released in chronological order. From Iron Man to WandaVision, we'll be looking at all the movies and shows that make up the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's been a long time coming, but today, I'm finally taking you on a journey through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's not drag it out and start. Iron Man, the first film in the MCU, introducing billionaire Tony Stark and his alter ego Iron Man as he confronts his own mortality and the threats facing the world. The Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner struggles to control his rage and the powerful creature within him while being hunted by General Thunderbolt Ross and facing off against the Abomination. Iron Man 2, Tony Stark must deal with the consequences of his actions as Iron Man while facing a new rival in the form of Ivan Vanko, also known as Whiplash. Thor, the god of thunder, is banished to Earth by his father Odin and must learn humility and sacrifice in order to reclaim his powers and save his realm from destruction. Captain America, the first Avenger, Steve Rogers is transformed into a super soldier and fights against the Nazis and the villainous Red Skull during World War II. Marvel's The Avengers, the first team-up film in the MCU, featuring Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Black Widow, and Hawkeye as they face off against Loki and an alien invasion. Iron Man 3, Tony Stark must confront the Mandarin and deal with the aftermath of the Battle of New York in the previous Avengers film. Thor, the Dark World, Thor and his allies must stop Malekith and his army from using the power of the Aether to bring about the end of the universe. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Steve Rogers teams up with Black Widow and the Falcon to take down a conspiracy within Shai-Eldiet and face off against his former friend turned enemy, the Winter Soldier. Guardians of the Galaxy, a group of misfits including Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Groot come together to save the galaxy from the threat of Ronan and the power of the Infinity Stones. Avengers, Age of Ultron, the Avengers face off against the villainous Ultron, created by Tony Stark, and confront their own inner demons and conflicts. Ant-Man, Scott Lang must use his skills as a thief and the shrinking technology of Hank Pym to pull off a heist and become the next Ant-Man. Captain America, Civil War, the Avengers are split into two factions as they debate the Sokovia Accords and face off against each other in a battle that has lasting consequences. Doctor Strange, a former surgeon, must embrace the mystical arts in order to become the Sorcerer Supreme and protect the world from supernatural threats. Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2, the Guardians must face their own pasts and the threat of Ego, the living planet, while dealing with the arrival of new allies and enemies. Spider-Man, Homecoming, a young Peter Parker tries to balance his life as a high school student and his responsibilities as Spider-Man while facing off against the villainous Vulture. Thor, Ragnarok, Thor must face off against his sister Hela and prevent the destruction of Asgard with the help of his new friend, the Hulk. Black Panther, T'Challa becomes king of Wakanda and must protect his country and the world from the threat of his long-lost cousin, Killmonger. Avengers, Infinity War, the Avengers team up with the Guardians of the Galaxy to stop the powerful villain Thanos from collecting all 6 Infinity Stones and wiping out half the universe. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Scott Lang teams up with Hank Pym and his daughter Hope Van Dyne to search for Pym's wife Janet Van Dyne, the original Wasp, while dealing with a new enemy, Ghost. Captain Marvel, set in the 1990s, Carol Danvers discovers her past as a human pilot and a Kree warrior as she faces off against the Skrulls and helps Nick Fury and Shai-Eldiet defend Earth. Avengers, Endgame, the surviving Avengers must travel through time to collect the Infinity Stones and reverse the effects of Thanos' snap, leading to a final battle to save the universe. Spider-Man, Far From Home, Peter Parker goes on a school trip to Europe and faces off against the villainous Mysterio while dealing with the aftermath of Endgame and the loss of his mentor Tony Stark. WandaVision, Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, creates a sitcom reality to cope with her grief and loss, but soon realizes that her actions have consequences and must confront her own powers and past trauma. Loki, the god of mischief Loki, escapes the timeline after the events of Endgame and becomes embroiled in a time travel conspiracy while facing off against the Time Variance Authority. What If? An animated anthology series that explores alternate scenarios and universes within the MCU. Hawkeye, Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, trains his successor Kate Bishop and deals with his past mistakes and enemies during the holiday season in New York City. Ms. Marvel, at the center of the show's plot is a girl named Kamala Khan, a superhero fanatic. One day, she wears a family bracelet that gives her superpowers, the ability to create objects out of thin air, to grow in size, and sometimes to move through time and space. Moon Knight. At the center of the narrative is the Moon Knight. His real name is Mark Spector. In the past, he was a mercenary and criminal, but having become a superhero, he is sworn to protect people from various manifestations of evil. The Hulk. Attorney at law. After a blood transfusion, Bruce Banner's cousin, lawyer Jennifer Walters, gains the ability to transform into a superpowered being under stress. Jennifer has to learn how to control this gift and use it for good while continuing to work in the newly created Superhuman Rights Unit. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Star-Lord, Drax, Rocket, Mantis, and Groot engage in some spirited shenanigans in an all-new original special created for Disney+. And that brings us up to date with every single Marvel Cinematic Universe movie released in chronological order. It has been an incredible journey over these past few years, watching these amazing stories unfold on our screens, but it doesn't end here because there is still so much more coming our way, with Phase 4 being only just beginning. So keep an eye out for what's coming next, because it sure looks promising. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that like button below, and if you want more videos like this one, make sure you subscribe down below so you can stay updated with all things Marvel Cinematic Universe related right here on my channel. Goodbye everyone!